Make sure everyone on my team is ready. All right, so hello everyone. We are the Kennebunk Savings team, and we luckily had the awesome opportunity to work with Kennebunk Savings Bank over this last semester. And next slide. So first, I just wanted to say thank you to our awesome project mentor, who works at Kennebunk as a community relations and social responsibility manager. She did an amazing job of answering the questions that we had about Kennebunk and really just ensuring that we knew everything that we needed to know to answer the questions. My name is Devin Geyer, and I'm a senior majoring in environmental conservation and sustainability and justice studies. And I had the awesome opportunity of being a peer mentor for this team.
My name is Olivia Sharon. I am a senior majoring in business management and minoring in social justice leadership.
My name is Andrea Scarfo. I am a senior majoring in economics and sustainability.
My name is Hannah Purcell, and I'm a senior majoring in women's studies and sustainability.
And the last member of our team is Lauren, who is a senior majoring in environmental science, ecosystems, and sustainability, but unfortunately was just recently activated in the Coast Guard, so she cannot be with us tonight.
Again, I'm Hannah. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about Kennebunk Savings and how they're a mutual company bank, that community bank that was founded in 1871 in Kennebunk, Maine. They serve the southern Maine and seacoast New Hampshire with 315 employees in 17 branch locations. As a mutual bank, they consider their community members, their stakeholders, stockholders. They have many amazing initiatives and programs to engage the community and their workers that you will learn about throughout the duration of this presentation. Next slide, please.
Awesome. So for our project scope, when we were working with Kennebunk, we were able to identify 2 key goals that we had that we wanted to achieve for this semester. First, we identified that we wanted to identify all of the opportunities for Kennebunk that they could use to improve on the assessment, but also more importantly, improve their impact. For us, Kennebunk's assessment was completed when we started this project at the beginning of the semester. So we really focused on how we can increase that impact because that's something that's very important to them. And secondly, we knew we wanted to create a system that helped them track different types of documentation that would be needed and where that documentation would be stored. So we also created a system that allowed us to track all of our recommendations and documentation. Next slide. So this is our final product with our 2 goals. In addition to Kennebunk's preference for an Excel spreadsheet, we were able to create this document that is shown on the screen. This document gave recommendations for every single question on the 220 question assessment that Kennebunk had. And we also were able to give an idea of what documentation would look like for all the different questions if they were to pursue those questions as points. And we also created a column for them in order to be able to track where the documentation was stored. We also created a focused recommendations document that we gave to Kennebunk with first steps that they can take to improve their impact once the clinic is over. And these questions range from questions that are easy to implement to questions that are harder to implement and require some more time and resources. So we'll be briefly going over all of these different types of recommendations for each section: governance, workers, community, environment, and customers.
Hi, this is Andrea speaking again. So I'm going to be talking about the governance section of the impact assessment. As Kennebunk Savings is a mutual bank, it operates as an association of individuals who are depositors, also known as members. Mutual savings banks are owned by their depositors and not stockholders. Unlike a traditional bank whose profits go to stockholders, mutual bank profits are distributed to the depositors, typically in the form of higher rates on deposits and lower borrowing rates. Kennebunk Savings Mutuality has allowed them to naturally take a local focus in their strategic direction and make their depositors and surrounding community a priority. And this is shown in the scores of their community section and worker section of the impact assessment. Kennebunk Savings initially scored a 14.1 on the governance section of the BIA. While reviewing the governance section of Kennebunk's impact assessment, it became apparent to the group that this assessment wasn't fully catered to the structure of a mutual bank. A few examples of suggestions we made to improve Kennebunk's score on the governance section are for Kennebunk to include their social impact projects on their mission statement, And we also recommended that Kennebunk amend their articles of corporation now to include B Lab's criteria of multiple stakeholders. All of these align with the power of local and aid their social missions, which you will learn more about in the community section. Next slide, please.
Hi, Hannah again. I'm going to be talking about their community section. The community section is Kennebunk's highest scoring section due to their strong commitment to their community members. In 1994, they made a promise to give 10% of their annual earnings to local nonprofit organizations through the Community Promise Program. And as you can see, in 2019, Kennebunk logged over 10,000 hours of volunteering and has donated $14 million since this 1994 promise. Most of our recommendations for this section consisted of helping Kennebunk incorporate the number of exciting and innovating programs they already offer, such as fighting the opioid crisis, supporting the underbanked local community, and supporting survivors of domestic violence. All of these community programs are already in place. We just wanted to make sure that they were getting all the points they could for these programs. We also recommend that they implement a local supplier and hiring policy to fit with their values of a local business, and to add on to that, to create a program that allows Kennebunk to assess the impact that their local economic development has had on their community.
Kennebunk always takes their workers into consideration, and this is shown throughout the B Impact Assessment. Workers was Kennebunk's highest second scoring on the BIA. I chose to work on the worker section because I'm very interested in how companies treat their employees. I believe it speaks volumes about the company, their impact, and the longevity. Kennebunk offers a wide array of benefits for their employees and rank highly in employee wellness and compensation. We believe that we can help Kennebunk score a maximum of 4.43 additional points, bringing their total worker score to 31.47 points. They can do this by improving employee engagement, parental leave, and paid days off. All of these are achievable and will further benefit Kennebunk's morale, retention, and BIA score. Next slide.
The environment section is my favorite because it's Kennebunk's section with the greatest opportunity for growth and increasing their impact. Kennebunk cares about the environment and is actively pursuing new opportunities in this area. So in addition to their success in hazardous waste management and successful facility energy efficiency measures, we made some recommendations to help identify some new opportunities to pursue. We recommended that they create a service that is dedicated to restoring the environment, as this would align with their local impact model, in addition to reusing renewable energy sources and expanding their policies to reduce carbon footprints on travel. Next slide. And finally, the customer section. Kennebunk has a lot of great impacts on their customers by serving them directly and considering things that are outside of conventional credit scores. We recommend a few things they can do to truly intertwine the amazing things they are already doing for customers in order to align better with their community impact and for improving their environmental impacts as well. First, Kennebunk can evaluate different loans for their environmental and social impacts, and Kennebunk also serves a rural community, which is often identified as an underbanked community. The underbanked are people who do not have sufficient access to mainstream financial services and products typically offered by retail banks, and therefore they're often deprived of banking services such as credit cards or loans. So we recommended to Kennebunk that they could consider expanding on these services by providing specific ones that are targeted to different underbanked communities through less conventional services. And finally, we also recommended that they might want to look into some metrics and recognition status by the Global Alliance for Banking on Values, as this is a standard that is recommended by B Lab. Kennebunk recognizes the importance of a bank account to be a participating member of society, and that there are several populations that historically did not have access to these kinds of bank accounts at the same rate as the rest of the nation. And this is one of the reasons why I loved working with a company that is so interested in these kinds of issues, and as well as working on this section. Next slide. And this semester, I learned how much a bank can be more than just a bank when you're working with Kennebunk. Kennebunk taught by example how important it is to dedicate your time, energy, and resources, and how much farther these donations go than just money, although millions of dollars in monetary donations definitely help a lot too. This lesson Kennebunk has taught I will carry with me as I pursue my own career in improving environmental policies for underrepresented communities.
Learning about B Corp reassured me that businesses are committed to bettering our society while providing quality products and services. Working with Kennebunk on the BIA assessment challenged and showed me that it is possible to come up with creative and unique solutions to better a company, their community, and our world.
My major takeaway from this whole process was, I guess, how much of a role, or what we gave to Kennebunk was actually really valuable. I feel like when we were in like the middle of going through all the process and like doing all the work, we kind of lost sight of like the end goal. But then we talked to Liz and had a really awesome meeting a couple of weeks ago, and she thanked us for everything we had done and like showed us that it was going to make a really big impact on the company. So that sort of made me, and I think the rest of my group members, feel really good. So that was really cool.
And for me, I was just really grateful for this opportunity because I've been interested in B Corps since freshman year, and I finally got my hands on a real B impact assessment, and I got to see how this can truly impact our communities. So thank you.